Yo, 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 yo. It is me, Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, tbkc, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Yes, yes, yes. Let's do this. Dax. I'm always known as the Dax hater. Now, I will say this. I don't hate Dax. You'll see as I go through all these dogs, it's strictly business. It's nothing personal. This is my thing with Dax. Do I think if you have all of your Dax dogs or any Dax blood, you should just throw it away? No. At this point in time, Dax probably put it this way. They say that there's nearly 2 million American bullies registered. Dax is probably in a third of those dogs. And it just basically comes from the way he was bred. He was bred, 5,000 puppies is what it said. Then you take his puppies, which were bred a lot. So you could imagine the multiplication on that. If you take, him at 5,000, they easily probably went to 50,000. You know what I'm saying? Each dog averaging about 10 puppies, and that's being nice. You know what I'm saying? They would go to, 50,000. Next generation, you could easily say 500,000, and that's only down to great grandkids. Dax is now 7 or 8 generations back, so you could imagine how his blood has spread. Same thing with Denzel, not quite to the effect of Dax, but they're two dogs that are a little bit in almost a great amount of these bullies. This is what I say about this. This has always been my theory on Dax. I've never said that his blood should be banned. What I have said about Dax is that we know the issues, we know the question marks, we know everything that's there. Nothing has ever been proven about his origins, even though. So with that being said, knowing that he brings about these certain health issues, the breathing issues, the joint issues, the high rears, whatever. We've seen other dogs in this breed who've had issues, and we've had to breed away from them. That gained some popularity and different things. My thing is, if you have a Dax dog, why try to bring it to the forefront? Why try to compound it? Why try to double down on the blood? Why try to do any of these things that would make Dax a higher percentage in your dog's blood? If you have Dax going back to the 5th, 6th generation, think about this. I've explained this before. The first generation is 50%, if it was his kid. Second generation, 25. Grandkid, great grandkid, 12.5. Great 6.25. You know what I mean? And we go down. You know what I'm saying? 3.1. 2.5 or whatever the hell it is, you know what I'm saying? So you're down to 3% once you get back around the fifth generation. So the next breeding that you would do, you would literally be getting down to in the 1 percentile. 5th, 6th, 7th generation, you're in a good area. You would like to keep any blood, not just Dax, but any blood that you feel like could be detrimental to what you need to do or how it needs to be done. You would prefer to keep that blood to the lowest percentage possible in your dogs. It's just that simple. Someone asked me what do I believe like is the least, I mean, the bottom line of what I would like to see him in a pedigree or a dog like that. I often said, like, I've wavered on this before, but I think if you're in that 10% or less area, that means you're 90% chance of avoiding those issues. You know what I mean? If the rest of the pedigree is pretty clean, you're a 90% chance of avoiding those issues. This is something that I've used as a principle. I've even used this principle when breeding. Breeding my studs. As I breed my studs, and people do have Dax blood in their pedigrees, I try to help them match it up to the point to where it's going to be under 10%. If it's under 10%, you have a very good chance of avoiding these issues. My problem is what I see people doing is not only do they They may take a Dax blood, but then they want to add the Dax blood to a Rocco blood, which is also known for similar issues and some other issues. As you start to compound these, you start to not only see a more bulldog effect, you know, pulling from the exotic side of the families and different shit like that, but you see the breathing issues become heavier and heavier. We've also noticed that these dogs die a lot younger. You've probably seen the hip issues, even though they rarely show you these dogs from the side or show them moving anymore. They're like little statues now. But these are all issues that are being compounded, and it's just, you know, it's not the smart way to breed. If you want to make a healthier animal, you always go away from the issue, not go towards the issue. So, you know, that this is something to keep in mind as we go forward. And like I told you guys, I'm not banning Dax blood. I'm not going to, you would be forever trying to ban that blood at this point in time. What we need to do with it is we need to clean it up. We need to push it out. And not necessarily just push Dax out, but we need to push those genetics out. We need to push the bad genetics out, period. Some people, like I've often brought up Lucky Luciano's owners, who have been very, very successful at breeding away from it and still keeping some characteristics. And when I say very successful, is a lot of their dogs do live longer lives, you know what I mean? A lot of them are well put together animals and have balance. And, you know, Lucky is like a 50-50 type dog himself. So when you take that and you continue to breed away from it, you know, you're definitely going in the right direction. You're definitely going in the right direction to improve your breed. And I understand when people always say there's no perfect dog, but we should be striving for perfection. And the only way that we can strive for perfection with dogs and like Dax in the pedigrees is to fix it. It is ignorant of most of you to try to act like there wasn't a problem there, knowing how this dog died, knowing how the dude was actually built. You call it a tool, but at the end of the day, you know, it's not really a tool because you're not fixing anything. The truth of the matter is what has to happen is that we have to fix what was done by adding in certain dogs that had bad traits. It's not to beat up on Dax, but it is to oftentimes raise the awareness that we have seen a lot of bad things come from this blood. We've seen a breed change because of this blood. We've seen, you know, and not change for the better. So, you know, to be smart, I'm not saying go kill all your dogs that have Dax in their pedigree or anything of that nature, but what I am saying is that we have to be smarter on how we breed these dogs. We have to be smarter moving forward on what we're going to do with our dogs. If we don't, we'll be in a very, very bad situation, and we will need more respirators and more of this and more of that. And I will say this, Dax is not the only blood. Like, you know, like I brought up the Waffle House and World Star, which World Star has Dax blood in them. But if you have dogs that are known for having issues, and those issues are breathing issues with those particular dogs, why would you double down and keep on breeding on this? People talking about 20% of the blood is, no, that's not good. To you know, these are genetics. If you do have, it's the same thing if you do have, you know what I'm saying, World Star blood. I love that dog's look. I love his conformation. He's a beautiful dog. But at the end of the day, the main thing, if you're going to breed that blood, you should definitely be trying to breed away from any blood that has any breathing issues. That's all. Like, people want to make the world's biggest argument about everything. If you're going to breed this shit, you don't compound a very severe issue. All you do is just breed away from it. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with the Waffle House dogs or some of the other dogs that y'all know have certain issues. Come on, bro. All you got to do is breed away from it. If you're going to breed this shit, no one's going to stop you from breeding. So it's best for me to give y'all real advice. Just breed away from it. That's all you have to do. Study your pedigree of your female or the male that you're taking your dog to that has the issue. Study it very well and make sure that this dog has absolutely no history of elongated palates. Therefore, you are lessening the opportunity that this happens. The dogs have no history of heart issues or any of these other issues. You're lessening the probability that anything is going to happen with your dogs. If something does come up in your puppies and your breeding is unsuccessful, fix the dogs. You know, This is not always the logical plan. This is not technically how I like to breed, but at the end of the day, you can and will gain some traction if you breed away from issues. This has been since the beginning of time of breeding. You breed away from the issues. You don't ignore the issues and say, oh, everybody's a hater who says anything about my dog. No, the truth of the matter is that when we breed dogs, you have issues that arise. I've been blessed that I've never had a heart murmur. I've never had any kind of really breathing issues with my dogs. That's not been me, my dogs. Now, of course, some dogs with my blood in them have had the issues, but that's, you mix in shit. But I've been blessed in that. But if it arises, and it's probably gonna arise, if I breed long enough, I'll probably have a dog with a couple heart murmurs. I'll probably have something come up. The number one thing that I can do is get rid of it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to fix it. I need to get rid of those puppies. If the dog has the issue in his chest or whatever, I get rid of it. One of the problems that I've seen from a lot of the people who own Dax blood is they know that their dogs have heart murmurs. They know that they have issues. They know about those hips and different things, and they continue to breed it, which you're compounding it, and it makes it so much worse, guys. But as I've told you, we're going to do our thing. Until next time, God bless y'all. Much love. Peace.